Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Today, we're discussing a watch launched in late 2021 for the 2022 model year. This is the Vacheron Constantin Traditionnelle Complete Calendar Openface, channeling some of the aesthetic of the celebrated twin beat. What we have here is a fantastic moon phase triple calendar that is downright ethereal. It's also relatively large with an impressive wrist presence at 41 millimeters in diameter, 11.2 millimeters thick, 48.2 millimeters from lug to lug with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and I'm going to recommend that your wrist be my size or larger to wear this watch. Though it's not huge from lug to lug, it is a sizable timepiece. It's very flat. You'll have no trouble fitting it underneath the cuff. In fact, it even has a sloped bezel that will allow it to slide underneath the sleeve, but I really do think a 16 centimeter circumference wrist or larger will wear this sizable dress complication best. Take one more look down the barrel. And now the strap. High-grade, large rectangular scale alligator leather in dark brown with a semi-gloss finish. You can see the scales are exceptionally large and symmetrical, meaning this is a very expensive cut. You can see that the lugs have been drilled close to the case to make for better fit, and then to ensure there's no encumbrance to the motion of the strap, a curved spring bar is used. We have here a monotone stitch, a sheer cut side, and something Vacheron's doing more and more these days, alligator on the bottom with small round scale. This is something you see from upscale brands like de Bethune, F.P. Journe, some Louis Ulysse Chopard pieces, and now Vacheron. With gator on both sides, the strap is thinner and it'll last longer than if there were calfskin on the bottom. We have a Maltese cross motif on the pin buckle, which is all in polished rose gold, just like the watch. And then the watch is fascinating with sharp angular lugs jutting out from the case band. You can see a Calatrava. This is not. Those lugs are visually quite separate from the case band. The bezel itself does some gymnastics to visually pair the mass of the watch. As you can see, it's stepped in from the case band. Then it has a short vertical segment and then a conical profile. We have the Maltese cross again on the crown, as well as pusher adjusters for the calendar indications, a recessed case back to make the watch look thinner when it's on the wrist, and you can see the case back itself is coined. Rolling around the dial, the dial, we have several different sapphires here. First, my favorite feature, which is the silk screened Vacheron logo that sits on the underside of the upper sapphire crystal. Below that, you can see that there is a sapphire on which the faceted and polished rose gold hour indices sit. You can see they're cantilevered over the center dial. There is a little white lunette style pointer date that orbits the dial, indicating the 31 days of a standard calendar. It is a simple calendar, so it'll need to be adjusted 5 times a year. We have 2 sapphires, one featuring the day, one featuring the month. We have a photorealistic moon phase down at 6 o'clock, and you can see we have Dauphine-style hands. That's how you know it is a traditionnelle and not a patrimony. And you can see they're half frosted to make for better contrast against the nickel anthracite-colored base. All of the modular complication elements are on the dial side. So you see the vertical satin finish of the plate on which they're mounted. You can see that the bridges all feature satin across their top and then mirrored anglage on their edge. All of the steel springs are satinated on their top and mirror beveled on their side. All screw heads are mirror finished on their top and chamfered on their slot and circumference, and all wheels other than the sapphire calendar wheels feature satination. The finish is surpassing here and deeply impressive. You can even see that there's a guilloche pattern that runs like a fan around the top half of the dial surrounding the calendar indications. Flipping it all over, we have a nickel anthracite coated Vacheron caliber 2460. It's a unidirectional automatic winder with ceramic rotor bearings, a skeletonized and triple finished 22 karat mass. It's got a 40-hour power reserve, a 4 hertz beat rate, and even though the watch does not have a seconds hand, it does feature hacking seconds. All this pivots on 27 jewels, and it's adjusted in 5 positions, which is the high horology standard and also the chronometer standard. We have Côte de Genève across the bridges, satination on the wheels, engine turning on the base plate. We have mirrored anglage on the edge of every bridge, and just as on the dial side, we feature black polished screw heads with chamfered slots and chamfered circumference. You can also see there are these little black polished pinheads. Those pins are used to locate the bridges on the base plate, and those pinheads have been mirror polished. We also have Sat Nation on the wheels, truly impressive stuff. Great looking movement, and the Geneva hallmark bearing witness to the quality. You can see that's on both the balance cock as well as on the case itself. Since 2012, Geneva hallmark has been a full watch standard, and then all of this water resistant down to 30 meters. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.